Welcome to this lesson on the break statement in PowerShell. The break statement is a powerful control flow tool that allows you to exit loops early when a specific condition is met. Understanding how to use break effectively will help you write more efficient code by stopping loop execution as soon as you've accomplished your goal, rather than continuing through unnecessary iterations. The break statement immediately terminates loop execution when it is encountered. It exits the nearest enclosing loop, which means if you have nested loops, break will only exit the innermost loop where it appears. Once break is executed, control jumps to the first statement that appears after the loop. Break works with all loop types in PowerShell, including for loops, foreach loops, while loops, and do-while loops. This makes it a versatile tool for controlling your program's flow. Let's look at a basic example of using break. Here we have a for loop that counts from 1 to 10. Inside the loop, there's an if statement that checks if the variable I equals 5. When this condition is true, the break statement is executed. At this point, the loop stops immediately, even though it was designed to count all the way to 10. So in this example, the numbers 1 through 4 would be displayed, but once I reaches 5, the loop terminates and nothing else is printed. One of the most common uses for break is in search operations. In this example, we have an array of names: Alice, Bob, Charlie, and David. We use a foreach loop to iterate through each name. Inside the loop, we check if the current name equals Charlie. When we find Charlie, we display a message saying found Charlie, and then we execute break. This stops the loop immediately, which means we never check David. This is much more efficient than looping through all remaining items when you've already found what you're looking for. When working with nested loops, it's important to understand that break only exits the innermost loop where it appears. In this example, we have an outer loop with variable I and an inner loop with variable j. Both loops count from 1 to 3. Inside the inner loop, we check if j equals 2. When this is true, break is executed. This exits only the inner loop, not the outer loop. So the outer loop continues to run for all its iterations, but each time the inner loop reaches j equals 2, it breaks out early. The outer loop remains unaffected and continues its normal execution. Let's review the key points about the break statement. First, break immediately terminates loop execution when encountered. Second, it's particularly useful for early exit scenarios when a specific condition is met, such as finding a target value in a search operation. Third, break only affects the innermost enclosing loop in nested loop structures. And finally, break is commonly used in search and validation scenarios where continuing the loop after finding what you need would be inefficient. By mastering the break statement, you can write more efficient and cleaner PowerShell code.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.